Ni aje wase. So in this series I want to talk about the thesis statement. Hii ni ingine imekuanga shida sana kuandika because for the most part people write some sort of a purpose statement, but not the thesis statement. So thesis statement, and let me show you by an example. So thesis statement, for the most part inakujanga at the end of the introductory paragraph. So ile paragraph yako introduction, hapo the last line inaweza kuwa the last two sentences. It could be even a blend of three sentences. Sometimes inaweza kuwa a compounded thesis statement, but in most cases it could be a sentence, So hapo mwisho ndio inakujianga. And as a standard practice, any paper yenye nakupea ikiwa na thesis statement, I want you to highlight, or rather just put those the thesis statement in italics so that I can be able to see it. Yes, nitakuwa najua iko hapo mwisho, but increase to your readability, put it in italics so that I can be aware, because clients ukuanga na issue nayo sana. So thesis statement ni tofauti sana. For instance, we are writing about the effects of social media and on mental health, In this case, tunataka kuonyesha venye effect ya social media on mental health, but from a negative, effects perspective. So in this case, most of the writers, they will use this as a thesis statement, which isn't the case. Msee anasema this paper will discuss the effects of social media on health, maybe and a few. This is not a thesis statement. Hii si thesis statement kabisa hii. And I know to some of you this might come as a surprise because you've been doing it all along, but this is not a thesis statement. A thesis statement inafaa kuwa very specific, and it should be a basis, it should be a reference point for the entire paper. You are telling the reader what to expect actually, Hiyo thesis statement ukiichukua ukibreak down, ndio itakuwa na, hapo ndio utapata content ya paragraphs zako. In fact, your organization of the entire essay will be, it will be determined by the thesis statement. For instance, a possible thesis statement on the same topic inaweza kuwa kitu kama hii. I'm not saying that this is the perfect, but I'm just giving you an example. It's way better than this. So you can say, while social media can be useful, it has detrimental effects, okay? It has detrimental effects on mental health because users spend an unhealthy amount of time causing sleep depravity, altering the behavior negatively while seeking online validity, and promotes their feeling of isolation. So you see, we are telling the reader that iko na detrimental effects on mental health, but we are still going ahead and telling the reader why, kwa nini tunasema hivyo. So hizi vitu zenye tumeweka hapa, kwa nini tunasema hivyo, ndio zitakuwa the basis of your paragraphs. Huko sasa ndio utaanza kuandika paragraphs ukidive deeper into them, spending unhealthy amount of time, utaingia kwa hii deeper, you'll write about it and tie it back to, the depravity and all that. Altering the behavior negatively while seeking online validity. Utaingia deep, uonyeshe venye ina affect mental health. You will connect, venye ina promote isolation. What happens after ime promote isolation? It affect aje mental health. So You see already here we have some sort of, ni kama tunaweza ziita subheadings, you know. Then from hapo you will have your topic sentences, because you want to dedicate sections or rather paragraphs to address at least one thing. Usishikanishe hii ushikanishe na hii kwa paragraph moja, itakuwa confusing, then unaweza jipata all of a sudden you are short of words. So kama ni spending an healthy amount of time, you can either put it under a subheading somewhere, or rather utakuwa unajua hii paragraph iko dedicated to this. So an example, if I want to address this, you know, this can be my topic sentence. This can be my topic sentence. Topic sentence, I'm not sure if mine is okay. They are the leading, you know, they are the leading statements for your paragraph. It prepares the reader ajue ni nini inaongelelewa kwa hiyo paragraph. So it's like you are making another claim. It's like a smaller thesis statement for every paragraph. You are making a claim here that spending more time on screens with blue light disrupts the body's ability to prepare for sleep, because it blocks a hormone called melatonin that makes you sleepy. Okay, sasa tunaingia ndani ya hii. Why tuko ndani ya hapa? Okay, and you've made your point here. Then here you can talk of the sleep cycle. You know, there is that sleep cycle venye sasa melatonin ikikuwa blocked, venye sleep cycle itakuwa disrupted. You can go into the details, you know. Hiyo paragraph itatoka ikiwa solid, ikiwa organized vipoa, ideas zitaflow. You know, from that point sasa unaweza connect kama kuna, depending na hizi parts zenye uko nazo kwa thesis statement, kama kuna zenye zina connect, unaweza tumia transitional statements from one paragraph to another. You can also conclude, you know, there are some concluding statements for paragraphs pia. We do not always stick to these, you know, to him format, topic sentences and concluding, you know, concluding statements kwa paragraphs, but sometimes kuna venye unaangalia job, ukiona sana thesis imetajwa, make sure you use this kind of structure, this kind of format, make sure unaitumia. And then once you organize your paragraphs vizuri, mwisho wake, you will always ping back, you know, to the thesis statement or conclusion. Okay, and then you provide your remarks. In most cases, nimeonanga hiyo, you always ping back, you know. So like, just make sure that you have a solid thesis statement. Na hii ni kitu unafaa kufanya before uanze kuandika paper. Don't do it ushaandika paper and then now you are trying to fix a thesis statement. It doesn't work out. You see, from here I have three main sections. You know, I have this part, you know, and I have this part, and I have this part. Already hii statement imekupea content mingi sana yenye unaweza tumia kuandika hiyo paper. And then you can now do your research based na hizo vitu. And I presume hata before uandike hii thesis utakuwa umefanya research, because these are claims, and what you are doing in the paragraphs, you are now giving evidence to whatever claims or rather claim you've made kwa hii thesis statement yako. So whatever you do huku kwa body utakuwa unaendelea kupeana evidence. So you must have researched, of course. So na wakati una research, you're also saving your sources, you know, you're also developing the reference list. Hiyo ni kitu ingine wasee hawajui. You should have a reference list before you even write a paper. Si ile unaandika unamaliza and then you start fixing sources zenye hata hujatumia. I know that happens a lot. unaandika unamaliza, and then you just go find some sources which are relatively close to what you are, and then you start throwing. Kuna siku inaumananga tunapatana na client mwenye profesa wake instructor anakagua hizo sources kabisa, anaenda anaangalia information yenye umesite kaa kweli inatoka hapo, and then unapata hata kitu yenye umesite hiyo source inaongelea kitu ingine na wewe unaandika kitu ingine, inaumananga kabisa. Hiyo ndio point moja nishaiona, na inakuanga a very bad situation by the way. You don't want to be caught in that situation. Mimi hata ndio siwezi taka kabisa, because at the end of the day I risk a lot. So once you organize your papers this way, you can generate the references, uzieke mahali, and then now you write your paper so that ukisite una cite ile kitu yenyewe umetumia kuresearch. So let me see you in the next series.